Welcome back, Infiniteers, to my Timeless River toy box. Today I'm going to build the residential part of the old city, which includes the burning building. In Kingdom Hearts 2, this area was separate from Cornerstone Hill and its neighboring areas. It was accessed through a floating doorway, so I have no idea where this location is in relation to Cornerstone Hill. So in my toy box design, I chose to put that out over this direction because this is all empty space and I needed something to put over here anyway. And it seemed like this would be the perfect place then to put the city. Here are some screenshots of the burning building and the surrounding neighborhood. If you look in the background on the left, there are some buildings that could be homes or businesses. I also see some lamp posts. The burning building itself is just a tall brick building with windows and a double door. Rotating around to the left, you see there's another large building across the street that's surrounded by a picket fence. It sits on a corner, and the streets continue off in the distance where you can see some additional buildings, lampposts, and trees, and it looks like a typical neighborhood. Here's another shot of the building across the street. It looks like the road on the right continues back into the distance and turns left, or maybe that's another street intersection back there. You can also see an additional building in the background on the left. If we rotate further, you can see that there isn't much over in that direction, just the silhouette of some very distant buildings, and it's pretty empty back there. So in my toy box design, I'm going to place the burning building right about here. So there's really not much behind it, just like in the Kingdom Hearts 2 game. And that means that the large building across the street that's surrounded by the picket fence is going to sit about here. And the streets will extend in this direction and in this direction. And the houses will be over there. And the street will also extend down in that direction. And this will be a large empty area over here. And you can see there's some buildings that are lit up in the distant background, kind of coincidentally, just like in the game. So that seems like the perfect orientation to build here. First thing I want to do then is start by looking at some building pieces that we're going to need today. And these are the plants out of the plants drawer, the first 9 pieces that we're going to need. We're going to use this one. We're going to skip these 2, or these 3, and use this one, and then these 4. And I already have my Victor's Experiment power disc on the base. Excuse me. So let's go ahead and theme these, and you can see what it is we'll have to work with. I'll set that to be my theme. I'm going to do that for each of these ahead of time. I'm not going to do a theme all because I have that windmill that we dropped over that direction last time. That's out in the distance there, so I can't theme all or I'll lose that. Of course, I could always go put it back, I suppose, but this one would be the telephone poles. And I'm doing, again, a theme all on these, so I don't have to re-theme them later. And I didn't theme this ahead of time because I wanted you to see which pieces result in the pieces that we're building with. And then we're going to use this sidewalk piece and its neighbor out of the decorations drawer. This is very near the beginning of the drawer if you scroll to the right. We're going to use this barricade piece that's out of the building sets group 2. It's the construction barrier. We're going to use this lamppost that's from the Disneyland Main Street USA buildings. And of course we're going to use some roads and some of the residential houses out of building sets group 4. But let's start with this corner piece. And everything is going to key off of this. So if we look at this corner of the river right here at the base of that hill, we're going to put this right here on the corner of that river block, just like that. Okay, and then we're going to scroll up to the roads, and we'll put the roads in first. I think that's going to work best. And we'll begin with this racetrack piece that's going to go right on the corner of that sidewalk like that. And for the theme on this, all of the roads are going to use that Frankenweenie theme, which is Victor's Experiments. I'll set that to be my theme. The roads in the game were pretty smooth, but this is the only truly black and white one that we have, so that's why we're going to use that. We're going to place a couple of these here like this, and the medium piece. And then I want to scroll down, actually before we do that even, the medium piece, let's put some of these in. I was going to go get that intersection, but since we're right here, we'll put these in first. Okay, so that's pretty much all of the road. Just need the intersection. And then we'll go pick that up. Okay, and there are the roads. So that's going to determine where all of the buildings go. And then the next thing we'll do is put in the sidewalks. And let's just go ahead and put these in. And this is going to take a little bit of time. But it's not too bad. We got to put these in first because this is going to tell us where the buildings can go and can't go. We don't want to put the buildings too close to the street. Alright, now we get to this point, and let me just grab my screenshot here to make sure I don't mess this up. Yeah, so I did put a corner here. So I'm just going around the perimeter first. And then we get down to this end. And for this, we're going to put that in here like that. Sorry for the delay. I was looking for my screenshot for that corner. This is exciting video, isn't it? I thought about fast forwarding, but this actually isn't going to take too long. And you can see where the memory meter is on the right there on my Wii U. I've still got half of my memory left. So it's plenty of memory to do the things that I want to do yet. Which is another reason why I figured putting in the city here would be nice. Give the player another place to go in the black and white world. And okay, so that takes care of the perimeter. And then we just need to do the inside block here. City block, I mean. Now, if I were doing a city toy box, I probably would not use this sidewalk because it's in the decorations drawer, and things in the decorations drawer typically take up a lot of memory. As you can see, we're putting down a lot of sidewalk objects. So this wasn't too bad here, but if you're going to do a huge toy box filled with city streets, this will end up taking up a lot of memory. So some of my other toy boxes, you've seen how I just use the underlying terrain for the sidewalk. And the buildings sit right up next to that and doesn't take up any memory then because you're not putting anything down on it. You're just using the terrain below it. But for this toy box, I have the memory, and this really is needed, I think, to set off the sidewalk from the yards because the building's not going to be coming right up to the edge of the sidewalk. All right, so there we go. Now let's start with the burning building, and that'll be under Building Sets Group 2. Oops. I had picked that up and put it down earlier, so I got to scroll back to the beginning of that drawer. Fortunately, we don't have to go too far here. Would have been faster, I suppose, if I'd have dropped this ahead of time. There we go. Alright, so we want to center it on this city block. And want to push it all the way back till the right or the left edge of it is on that terrain seam. So just like that. And we'll stack it too high. I had two side by side before, but that looks more like the burning building. And then while we're right here on this side, I'm going to center this with the left edge centered on that sidewalk. And this is going to be centered like that. So we'll put two of these in here. And that's the building across the street. Okay. And then we'll come down to the plants drawer. And we'll fill in around the perimeter of this building. And let me get my screen grab here. Just to make sure I put all of these in the right way. Yeah, so it's that one. I use the same one back over here. In that corner. And then I use this one in this corner. And then we'll put this around the perimeter, which gives us our fenced-in building. So that looks pretty good. All right, and then the neighborhood is back over in this direction. So, let's start, I guess, on this corner here. And we're just going to build a little fenced-in yard for this. Like that. And then the houses are up under Building Sets Group 4. We have these different size homes. That's a garage. Let's see. I think I used the square house here. And we'll put that there. We'll kind of center it on that sidewalk seam down over here. And I'm straddling that terrain seam like that. And then we got to put a roof on top of that. There we go. So there's our first little house. On the other side of the street, let's see. Go to the plants drawer. This side, for something a little different, we'll put in the telephone poles. like that. And then building sets group 4. We'll line up this with the edge of that, and we'll center it kind of on the telephone pole plant cluster. Put a roof on it, and a front door. Actually, let's go ahead and just keep building the houses here. Okay, so the next one, we'll put this about like this, and I want to put this one a little nudge over this way. We're going to line this up with that house there. And then this one's going to sit like, I guess it doesn't really matter. We'll come out like this. And we'll put our front door on this one. And I'm trying to make each of the houses look different. I don't want them to be all identical, because that would be kind of boring and cookie cutter. It's not really what you want at all. You want them to look similar, but not identical. And I think I like the idea of the picture window on the front of that better, so let's spin this around. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, let's go down to the plants drawer again. We're going to put a couple of these guys in here, just to kind of space this out a little bit. So we'll put one there. Put one of these back here. And while we're right here, we'll put in our little decorations on the front of this. And we'll kind of space these out. Create a little row of trees just to serve as a barrier between the 2 yards. Put one over here on the corner and one back here. And that's starting to look pretty good. All right. Leave room there for kind of a walkway leading up to the house. And for the house, once again, building sets, group 4. Put one of these in here. Like that. With a door. And a roof. So it looks a little similar to the one down there, but that's okay. You got the one in the middle that's different, so that kind of separates that a little bit. All right, a couple more plants. Something like that. All right, next house. Just continuing around the block here. We'll put this one all the way back up against the terrain like that. Kind of center this one on that sidewalk piece. Once again, we'll go all the way back. We'll flip that one around. I guess we'll flip it back the other way. I don't want the window on the same side on both pieces. And these do look a little cookie cutter. But I don't really have a lot of room to build back here. So, can divide this up though a little bit if we want. So we could put a picture window here and then rotate and put something like that. We can cover up the seam between the two building pieces with that. And there we go. So that looks a little bit different. And I actually like the idea. Let me rotate this. I like things symmetrical. That looks better. Alright, and then we'll add a few plants around this. And this side of the road will be done. Once again, just kind of a barrier between the buildings there. Put this little piece in here. And something like that. So now we're starting to get a nice little neighborhood here, which is good. Okay, I like that. Now I'm going to leave that side of the street blank because the construction site is going to end up going over there. So let's come over here now and we'll fill in this area. Let's start by putting a couple of trees in here because this looks a little bland around the perimeter of this building. That needs a little something there. And then over on this side, we'll put that, and then we'll put a row of... Oops. Sometimes you have to format these after the fact, so we'll put that in there like that. I'll come back and format it after we put this other one in. Well, that's the problem. Okay. Here we go. Okay, we shouldn't have a problem now with the rest of these. So we'll just run a row of these down to the end. And then we can come back and format these. There we go. Looking pretty good. All right, some finishing touches. Let's start with the lamp post. So we're going to place these about like that. I don't think we'll put one over there. Not sure if we really want one here. This isn't really a corner, but I guess we got the memory for it, so it doesn't hurt. And we could even put one in the middle of the block over here, I suppose. If we're going to do that, I guess we should put one down here. There we go. I never know if I should put that here or where I should put that. I guess we'll put that there. We should probably put one. I guess we don't really need one over here. We got one on the other side though, so we'll do that. All right. So that helps a lot. Just these little touches really help. Okay, so next we'll pick this up. And since the road doesn't go anywhere, it just looks really weird that this would abruptly end, so just want to put some little construction barriers across there. And we'll do the same thing on the other end of the road. All the way down here. There we go. Now we do it on time. Now we're doing pretty good. Let me do one more thing while we're right here. There's a house down on this end of the construction zone. So let's put that in and then we'll call it a day. Since we have these textures ready to go anyway, just makes sense that we fill this in. And then we'll put in our house. And we'll put the picture window looking out that way, because who wants to look at a construction site? That would be pretty bad. And for something a little bit different on the back of the house, if you want, you can put this in here. Not crazy about that little spot of red, but it's all right. Okay, and there's that yard. So then the construction site will sit in here. So that's how I built the old city and the burning building. Next time, I'll build the construction site, and I'll also finish the build exercise for this toy box. Thank you for watching. I hope you're enjoying this series so far. If so, please give this video a like. It's a pretty fun and easy build, I think, but leave a comment before you go and let me know what you think of it. If you enjoy Disney Infinity and you like my toy box designs and my videos, you can subscribe to my channel by clicking my photo in the lower right corner of this video. You can also follow me on my blog. That's all for me today. Take care.